let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to FusionLore, the podcast where we dive deep into the lore of FusionFall, exploring every mission 30 minutes at a time to piece together the story and uncover what's really going on. I'm Magic, also known as the Magical Dealer, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Matt, also named as Aris. Say hi, Matt.
Hello. How's everyone doing?
And in today's episode, we are tackling the level 15 missions, breaking down the story beats and sharing our thoughts on what stands out. There are some stuff that really got a turning point, and there was some external media that helped me get to that turning point, Matt. Yes. In this level, we're going to be going over heroes, what it means to be a hero. Matt doesn't know anything about what I have to say about that because I kept it to myself when we were discussing notes. We're going to be talking about fusions and fusion underlings and the Book of Prophecies. The Book of Prophecies is a big one. Kira has been trying to get us to talk about the Book of Prophecies for a while. It's a big thing for her. We're only touching it right now. We haven't gotten to the meat of it. I think that's more into next episode when we'll probably get more information on it. But with all that laid out, where would you like to start, Matt?
Well, I mean, as any episode goes, I would like to start off with the Nano Mission, just to ease us into the episode.
Okay.
So go Demongo go. Where we go in and we talk to the Scotsman. He asks us to head out to Leaky Lake because heroes are mysteriously missing, and he believes that it's usually because of Demongo, the Soul Stealer. But he suspects Fusion Demongo is the one responsible for all this, so he tells us to go to Leaky Lake. We defeat some monsters, and then he basically goes and tells us that it's actually Fusion Scotsman that's causing all those issues, which is fascinating.
Well, we find out during our investigation, because Scotsman sent us because he thought Fusion Demongo was doing it, but we find out it was actually Fusion Scotsman working under Fusion Demongo doing all of this.
Yes. But I just think it's interesting because, yes, we do find this out right after we defeat the monsters, but I do find it fascinating, and this is a good talking point, that we are now on the second nano that we received, that in order to get it, we defeated a fusion that was not its original, or at least origin item, I guess. Yes, we get, we find out after looking at the notes that we get a Demongo skull in order to create the nano, but we get it from the Scotsman, which makes me believe Demongo can empower the Scotsman maybe in some way, shape, and form, or imbue it with Demongo's demon ability, which begs another question, if whether or not fusions are able to use the powers at play already, Yeah,
it's a big thing that we've talked about for sure, because we were way back when we were like, why doesn't fusions make a bunch of Powerpuff Girls to take over the world? And we were like, well, he must not have their full power, and that's why he was going after superheroes to get their power and maybe give it to himself. But this is our direct, I think, first time dealing with the fusion directly working under another character fusion. We know the mobs work under character fusions, but I cannot remember, and unless it's just left my mind, another point in the story so far where a character fusion was working for another character fusion. We have had number 2 and number 5 work together, but it seemed like they were on a teamwork type thing, not one was working for the other.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It just made it seem like the Scotsman is just under the Fusion Demongo's beck and call of sorts. I'd like to actually address something. I believe maybe now that we're bringing up the fact that we're wondering how exactly they get their powers, but maybe because of one of Demongo's skulls being the personal item, maybe it enabled the fusion variant of Demongo to use the powers of the demon at bay.
What?
Because the personal item... Oh, okay. So the personal item for Demongo is one of his skulls.
Which I don't know what that means. I like Samurai Jack. I don't remember anything about Demongo. From my memory, Demongo was in one episode of Samurai Jack. I do not know anything about him. what do they mean one of his skulls? Like, since he is a soul collector, is this like a random person's skull? Or is this like Demongo has many heads and this is one of his skulls?
Okay. So some things that occur with this character, a coup, his essence was absorbed by a coup into a glass skull. That's one possibility it could be. And the other possibility it could be is one of his powers and/or abilities, which is soul absorption. Each soul manifests as a skull on his upper torso.
Oh, so that must be the skull they're talking about. What we took a soul, which wasn't his soul. It was some random person's soul that we turned into a nano.
Wait. Okay. So how he uses the power is he detaches the skull and strikes it with a beam from his hands, causing the stored essence to form the warrior's body. As long as the victim's soul is bound to him, Demongo can manifest and reabsorb the essence as many times as he wishes. So, okay, wait. So could this possibly perhaps mean that because the Scotsman is alive and Fusion Demongo is, I don't know where the fuck he is, but Fusion Demongo, he can use the powers and such, so he uses a form of soul absorption to absorb the essence of Fusion Scotsman and then sends him on his bidding.
So you think that's why he's working under him? Which is weird because like I keep coming back to they are all Fuse. Every single one of them is Fuse. Why are any of them working under any of them? Are you not all the same person?
Like, okay. So that makes sense. Yes, it absolutely does. But we've already is well aware and well apparent at this point that most of the time fusions are taking on personality traits and/or in some cases they're able to exercise knowledge that only the character themselves can do. An example of that would be Professor Utonium becoming Professor Plutonium, and him working with radioactive in the radio. Oh my god, in the power plant.
Yeah,
but as the power manifests for Fusion Demongo, it's soul absorption and soul binding, so he's able to fully control his captured souls by trapping them within the body. So it's essentially, yes, it is like a double entendre where we're having Fuse and Fusion Demongo fight for the rights, even though it's the same person fighting for the same rights of Fusion Scotsman in this case. It would only make sense in this case that he used this power because we got a skull from defeating the Scotsman.
Okay.
So we can assume the skull is not necessarily just a skull, even though it's not explicitly stated, but we can assume that it is the skull manifestation.
How many times can we say skull?
A lot. Listen. All right. Okay. We can assume that it's the skull that manifested on top of Fusion Demongo that was used to manifest Fusion Scotsman, and that the reason defeating Fusion Scotsman is that the reason defeating him we get the skull back and we're able to create Demongo.
That was a lot for you, Matt. Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm okay. My brain is okay. I was putting it all together in my head. It was coming very slowly. I didn't mean. No one means for this. All right,
that was a lot for you, Matt. It was a lot for me, and all I did was listen to it. Okay,
but it makes sense, right? Does it make sense?
It makes sense. I get what you're trying to say, but because I don't want to spend too much time only talking about this Nano mission, the last thing I want to question: why does Fusion Scotsman have the skull? If you think Demongo is using that skull to control Fusion Scotsman, why does Fusion Scotsman have the skull? Because we kill Fusion Scotsman and use that very skull to make Nano Demongo.
This is also very true.
Also, does my Nano now have the power to take people's soul and make them his minions? We're moving on. We're moving on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I want to talk about my turning point. Right. I've been very vocal throughout this podcast about certain missions we do, and I'm like, why are we doing these dumb ass missions? What are we doing? And I've tried to come up with any type of reason for it to make sense. And something clicked for me, Matt. Something clicked.
Okay. I'm listening.
It was during the cleaning up City Hall mission line where Bubbles tells us that Mayor is holding an award ceremony for the bravest kids in the city. And at first, my ego was too large to hear anything but, we are not giving you this award, because my first thought was, I'm the bravest kid in the city. I do everything. Why am I not getting that award? But I had to take a step back. And recontextualize this, because it's not about me. I'm not the only person that lives on this planet. Right. I think I'm finally starting to understand why some of these characters do the things they do, because we do other missions. We do helping out Bubbles, or what is the mission line for Bubbles?
Befriending Bubbles. Befriending
Bubbles, where we go save animals in the park. And I was like, why are we saving animals in the park? And I realized it's all to keep the peace. Matt, we are keeping the peace. You and I, as the chosen twos, because it's two of us, are gonna save the world. It is written in stone. We're saving the world no matter what. We're with the help of these heroes or not. But we have to remember that other people live on this planet and they are watching everything that happens around them, right? Yes. So I think these smaller missions are to give normal citizens peace of mind. Don't worry. You saw the birds in the park get scared away by the fusion monsters. Don't worry. We're going to go help, and those birds will get to go back home. Everything is fine. Oh,
you know something?
You're so brave. We're holding an award ceremony down at the mayor's office. I think you deserve to get a badge for being so brave in this war.
You know something? Honestly, that kind of tracks a bit, especially because of the fact that we talked about the possibility of the future being more morbid than we ever could have possibly believed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that really ties into the fact that we're doing these things to keep the peace, in a sense, like especially the more useless missions, because let's be real here. We went into the past, yes, but we went to a point where, yes, we are still losing, and that is a big factor in it. We are still losing the war by all technical means. If we don't do anything, we are, by history and by everything, we are just going to lose, and the world will be over. But our very presence, our very actions push us further and further into the game, progressing us further and further, and allowing us to give these characters peace of mind, even if it's not outright defeating Fuse right away.
As long as we can make the world seem okay. There was what's the number one mission? It's not Today to no, I think it is Today to Fusion. It's Today to Fusion Part 1. Number 1's like, there are monsters attacking the mall. Please go destroy some of them so people can like go shop in safety, right? And we go kill the monsters, and they're like, thanks to you, kids can go to the candy store, and they can have some candy and they can live their life. And you're like, oh, he's also like, they're having a sale at your monument. I think me and you, Matt, got so caught up in like the big picture. We were not looking around us. We weren't looking at where we lived, because yes, we honestly are defeating the fusions, but like my neighbor is not. My neighbor is looking through the blinds, scared as hell.
Yeah. You know what? You can kind of sum up the whole game to two things. It's quite literally just a game of war. Who can keep the most morale and push past it all to win the fight, And actually, matter of fact, a lot of the things that we fixed up until this point have just been impacting our side's morale in a way, and also degrading Fuse's morale, at least his army's morale in a sense, with the imaginary posters and their intended purpose, dropping the morale of his troops. And this whole game is just a war story in a sense.
I never even thought about that.
It's a perspective of someone that was just trying to do some good and ended up becoming strong enough to make the actual change that we needed. And that is eventually defeating Fuse.
It's kind of funny to think about. We're doing all these missions that we thought were pointless, and it's just like helping everybody like live their lives. And like Fuse is up there like watching, and is like, why aren't they scared? I'm literally trying to consume your planet. Why aren't they running around panicking? Why are they? Is that little girl having a picnic down there? What is happening?
Honestly, I'm looking at the story of FusionFall from a different perspective. I either see it as like a documentation of a wartime that was, or it's like a gritty sitcom in a way where our heroes are just doing random bullshit, and it cuts over to Fuse every now and then. He's like, these fucking guys, I'm gonna go send some monsters to go fuck with them.
Are you saying Fuse is like a Saturday morning villain? He just once a week he sends out an alien invasion. He's like, they killed him again. How do they keep getting away with this?
And now they're having a fucking picnic. Send those caterplugs right now. I want every caterplug in the area right at that campsite. I want them. I don't want no juice boxes, no blankets, no baskets, nothing out there. Tear it all down.
And then Fusion Mayor's in the corner and he's like, I brought you some pickles, Lord Fuse.
Oh my god.
Calm down, Master Fuse. I brought you some pickles.
Another great thing about that, actually, speaking of which,
wait, before we move on, I just want to say that number one came through. Number one came through because I was so worried. I have tears in my eyes. I was so worried that number one was going to let me down. But I'm glad to say that number one and number two is on top. He might be above number two because while number two is holding it down in Sector V, creating all this stuff, number one is here in the heart of the city. And he's like, I'm going to make sure these people feel okay. I take back what I said about going to their concert. Go to the concert, man. Life is okay. You can live your life. Bubbles and number one are here to save the day. Mentally. We're gonna go kill Fuse.
Physically too.
I don't know. I ain't seen them do anything. I haven't seen them.
No, it's not that they did anything, but to send us on the missions in order to stop the animals from dying, to keep the morale up, I think that counts. At least in the context of, if we're going to be accepting of the pointless missions at this point, the pointless missions have value in that regard then. Even if they are giving them to us and not actively doing anything themselves, I think is neat that we're involved in the process of, hey, help me with this little side project I've been doing. Here's the details. Go over there and I'll be over here.
You know, I just remembered that number one and Bubbles do both make it to the future. So, you know, their work is worth it. Somebody was like, we got to keep them two working. They're doing the most. They're keeping people okay.
I had the most morale, which kind of makes sense. Bubbles has a very bubbly personality.
She's definitely the most emotional Powerpuff Girl.
And number one, well, I mean, he's the leader. He's got to have high morale somehow.
This is
the leader of the K&D.
My eyes are opening. We can keep doing the dumb missions. I like to think of us as like, I when we take these missions, I think of them as like quest in a guild. Like someone puts like a flyer up on a board and like, I need help finding my cat. And we're like, well, we got to go fight this fusion that destroyed half a building. But maybe we will go help you find that cat. You know, your cat is important. We'll find your cat too and kill that fusion that destroyed half the building. Maybe they're related.
Okay. Well, hold on. Before we get off on another tangent, I don't know how much time we went through, but let's move on. I want to talk about at least what the deal. I just think this is funny to me.
You in the toilet, man?
No, it's not the toiletator. It's Mayor.
Oh wait, this is the toilet mission. Oh, I remember. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, our mayor, he's so passionate. He's so passionate that behind City Hall, he has his very own pickle farm. Believe it or not,
a dill farm.
Yeah, a dill farm, and that he's so good with his farm that he enters into competitions about the quality and quality the quality and taste of his pickles. Would you like to taste one of Mayor's pickles?
Absolutely not. I hate pickles.
Okay, well,
I'm not a pickle person. I like onions. I like onions and I like mushrooms. I don't fuck with pickles. Give them away.
Understandable.
You can have them.
Anyway, all right. Moving on from that, we do another mission. This is for Fusion from Another Planet. This is continuing on after the hope that number 1 gave us from Fusion from a Planet from number 1 of 5. And 2 of 5, Princess has us steal some shit. and that lady is rich.
She's rich, and she's
rich.
She can buy the entire store the jewelry is in.
Her dad's stocks must have crashed when Fuse invaded. I swear to God, because there's no way she sent us on this mission to get designer glasses, a tiny handbag for a miniature dog, and a BFF bracelet. Come on, man. Come on. We had to steal those items? That's like the basic necessities of a rich girl.
You know,
she doesn't have that, and she's supposed to be a rich girl?
Princess is one of those characters that is on my list of, did they really need to be in this game? There are so many Powerpuff Girls. One of them could have left out, but for me, it's either between Princess and Fuzzy Lumpkins, and I kind of like Fuzzy more.
Honestly, like I'm surprised we didn't have more characters from other franchises in the game. We have a lot of people from Powerpuff Girls in general.
I think they have the most characters in the game by far.
Yeah, no, like I'm surprised. Like we don't even have Kevin, but we have Gwen.
We have Kevin.
Where the fuck is Kevin?
Oh, we'll meet Kevin. Don't worry, we're not that far yet. We'll meet Kevin.
Okay, whatever.
But speaking
another
of
cool
Fuzzy,
thing. Oh yes, continue.
Speaking of Fuzzy, we finally meet Fuzzy in person, and my guy is chilling in the wilds. He is living life. He don't care nothing about no fusions. This man made gumbo out of fusions. What is it? Mystery of the Meteor? We go to
a comet fell from Planet Fusion.
A meteor
and it landed
fell
south of Leaky Lake.
From the sky, and we're like, that's got to be from Fuse. And we go try to get the meteor, and it turns out Fuzzy is like, that's a pretty rock. I'm taking it. And we go, Fuzzy, can we have the rock back? He's like, if you go kill them fusion monsters for me, and I gotta make my gumbo.
Fusion Gumbo.
Fuzzy ate fusion matter.
We don't have much information on the meteor, but it's something fascinating we're looking forward to.
Man, I don't think they're ever gonna bring this back up. Fuzzy ate fusion matter. Is he gonna be okay?
You forgot that we brought the meteor to Gwen at the caverns.
I'm worried about that man's health.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
This was Fusion Man's
Fuzzy
plan.
Lumpkins.
He wanted people to eat fusion matter. What happens when they eat fusion matter?
Listen, I'm sure Fuzzy can handle it. That man is just different, you know? We don't even know what he is as a race. So who's to say that he can't digest that shit?
Honestly,
I'm just saying.
I guess I'm worried about him. I'm worried about him. But yeah, as we turn the meteor into Gwen, and Gwen's like, I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna try to figure it out. And that's all the information we get for now, because we only got to do 2 parts of it.
Yeah. Okay. Another thing I want to bring up: Habitat Homes. That mission line, it references a mini boss that circles around Habitat Homes, and I'm not sure if this mission may have been added in later because that monster wasn't always there, or maybe this mission line. Maybe this mission line inspired the mini boss.
No, it definitely had to be added in later. I'm sure if we look it up, it's going to be like it was added with the boss. There's no reason for this mission to exist without that boss being there. I'm 100% on the fact that this exists to tell you that there's a boss there, though I don't know how you would miss him because he is big. The road rage, or the road rager, whatever he's called, the metal dude, the tire on his back, and Habitat Homes, he's cool. He has some cool drops, like an actual gun, just like an actual gun, a handgun.
Yes, it is on the Retribution. It was added after the fact. Anyway, moving on from that, at least, I want to talk about the Book of Prophecy. But before we really get into the depth of what the Book of Prophecy truly is,
I know what you're going to say.
We're going to talk about how this mission line started. And our least favorite Kanker sister, give me a drum roll, something, I don't know, May Kanker.
Woo! Or should it be May Kanker?
It's like, all right, drum roll, please. May Kanker. You're like, Oh shit.
It's May again.
What is that? Anyway, okay, look. This lady tried having us give Ed a mind control love potion. I mind you, I'm talking about Ed inside of
Mount Blackhead.
Mount Blackhead, thank you. And even that man was like, I don't think I really want that. And that man usually, I think he would accept anything. He says that, but then he's like, it smells good anyway. I think I'll drink it. We had to stop him, remember? Gwen told us to stop him from drinking it. Gwen stepped in. She's like, hey, wait, don't give that to him. Bring that over here to the caverns. And May Kanker was not happy with that. Called us a meanie. I guess we're a meanie because we refused to drug Ed.
No, wait, no, for real though. But can we talk about how May Kanker, a 10-year-old girl, was like, this boy doesn't like me. I guess I'll just convince him to like me with the drugs. What?
Yeah.
Where did she learn
honestly,
this?
It was just mind control. It wasn't even really drugs. Let's be real here. She just said, okay, no more free will for you. As a matter of fact, the funniest line that I read from this is the second mission entry for this mission line is, I've decided I'm not going to chase after Ed anymore. One of us has to be mature. Instead, I'll mind control Ed into being my boyfriend. So,
This is the most
straight
evil
up just
10-year-old.
said,
Wait,
I gotta be mature.
how old is
And
Mandy?
then
We haven't met Mandy
I'm gonna
yet.
take away his free will.
I was going to say she's the most evil 10-year-old, but we haven't met Mandy yet, and I don't know how old she is. I'm going to save that for when we do missions for Mandy. I don't know. May Kanker is terrifying. I thought Lee Kanker was the most terrifying. Stay away from May. She's willing to do whatever it takes to get what she wants, and that is okay with me as long as nobody gets hurt. We need to lock her up. We need to lock her up. Besides,
Incarcerating that 10-year-old for the rest of her short life, she's not going to survive. We go bring the book we go talk to Gwen, give her the potion, and then she's like, hey, I need you to go try to convince her to give me that book. She is way too powerful with that magical book. May Kanker with magic is like, giving any evil fucking psychotic person immense power and infinite durability. It's just not good. It's not a good idea.
Where did she get this book in the first place? Where did she get
That's what we don't know.
Of prophecies. What is the Book of Prophecies? What is that?
And something about the forces of destiny at work here. And I feel like it may tie into us as a character, or at least the person that receives the missions from our heroes. It might have some juice later on when we learn more about it, but until now, it's kind of just speculation.
I think May is one of the worst characters to receive a book like that. The only person I can think of that would be worse is if Baloo had this book.
No, it would be Billy. That man.
God, it would be Billy.
First of all,
if Billy had a
canonically,
Book of Prophecies, no.
Listen, canonically speaking, if we're talking about the show, at least Billy has gone mad with power numerous amounts of times. You give that man an inch, and he takes a fucking football field. I swear to God.
It wouldn't even be that, Matt, because all it would take is a fusion going up to Billy and be like, I'll give you $0.25 for that book. And he's like, $0.25? Hell yeah. Didn't he put those posters up for $5? Remember?
No, that's the thing, though.
Remember?
Like, he's stupid, but he would do it. He would deny the fusion for all the wrong reasons. He would probably think that he can get money with the Book of Prophecies, like even more than just $0.25. Like, maybe using magic to get it. And then he probably won't even be able to do that, but he'll try anyway and somehow make it work. I'm just saying, he's an idiot, but he has this way of doing things that changes your expectation of him drastically. Because sometimes he does the right thing for the wrong reasons.
Oh, he's an idiot, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Idiot's an understatement. They need a new word. He's Billy. He's just Billy. There's nothing dumber than a Billy.
Billy level threat inbound.
Nothing can top Billy.
Funny.
I think that's all. I think we actually
we covered it all. I'm pretty sure. I guess aside from the Tree Top Troubles Part 3 and 3, we got some recognition
We did another booby trap mission.
Yeah, no, not even the mission with that. I'm talking about we get some recognition for our hard work from number 3.
Matt, we're not listening to my whole hero thing earlier. We don't need recognition.
Saying.
We don't need recognition.
Saying. We don't need recognition, but recognition feels good.
Are you doing it to save the world? Or are you doing it to be a hero? Which one?
Look. I don't get dressed to look good all the time. I just look good all the time. You think I'm fishing for compliments?
Yes.
Hell no.
I absolutely do.
But a compliment feels good here and there.
I think you are fishing for compliments.
Hey, nah. Man, I just like looking good. For me.
Sure.
I can look in the mirror and say, hey, you sexy man, looking good over there. You know? Just I don't need no validation, but a compliment does feel great.
I think you want the validation. Regardless.
Anyway.
That's everything. There's no last thoughts. We actually managed to talk about everything in a mission. We haven't done that
we got
in a long time.
In a while. I think the last time we did that was when we had sub 15 levels.
Wow.
Or missions in a level.
Well, thank you guys for watching the episode. You can find the Discord down below and the links to our production team, 10-Bin Dog, Radio Raves, Lucia Loot, and our socials, and I think I already said Discord.
Radio Raves, right?
Radio Raves, not Radio Waves.
Okay. Yeah, yes. Check us out on the socials. You might get some updates about the podcast over there.
Remembering to rate and review the show. It helps us out, helps other people find the show. And until next time, don't brainwash people to love you. That doesn't work.
Yeah, and if you do, don't tell anyone about it, because
no, what? What do you mean if they do? Don't do it at all.
Listen, I'm giving solicited, unsolicited advice, because maybe you want to get away with it. I don't know. You're not May Kanker. I don't care what you do. As long as you're not a complete psychopath, you can have the book. I don't care.
I think if you're doing it at all, you're a psychopath.
I don't know. You could be a pretty well-adjusted guy and be like, something, I want to know what's going on with my prophecy. I would like to know.
Well,
I don't mind some cheat codes here and there. So until next time, join the Discord. Leave us some feedback there too if you would like.
Bye.
We'll have discussions. Bye-bye.